Hi, and welcome to my car camp secrets. Let's try that intro again. Wasn't that fun? Car camp secrets. We're going to be going over all sorts of car camping secrets. And the fun thing I did was I decided that I'd go and ask my AI to come up with 20 car camp secrets. They were all great. I loved it. I didn't disagree with one of them. Here they are. Here's the prompt right here, which said, make me a numbered list of 20 car camping secrets in a single 7-word or less sentences. And I couldn't believe how amazing this list was. Yes, folks, AI may not be out to take over the world, but people that are learning AI, they are. So go out and learn some AI yourself. Pack your car efficiently using storage bins. That was actually going to be the central, and it is the central focus of today's car camping secrets. That's my number one secret. Use rooftop cargo box for efficient space. Yes, if you can and you can put one up there, great. If you can't, stick with the car. Bring a multi-tool for various tasks. That's a great idea. Use solar lights to save battery power. Now, my cousin has added a new one, and I didn't bring mine over here, but also motion activated solar lights, the kind you put on a fence, are really good to bring when you're out camping where there might be desert rats or just regular rats. Just something to help keep little critters out of your car. You put them next to your tires. Pack a first aid kit for emergencies always. Now, you should have a first aid kit in your car. At least I do. And yes, an additional first aid kit couldn't hurt. Ensure your tent fits your car site. This is very important, especially in small campgrounds. For example, Agua Caliente, which is one that I love going to. Some of the sites there are a little bit teeny, and you don't want to have a big 8x10 tent not fitting your car campsite. Bring a cooler with ice packs inside. Gold. Everyone should have that. And we have use a tarp under a tent always, otherwise known as tent footprint. Keep food in sealed animal-proof containers securely. I use a mostly animal-proof container called, I keep my food in my car. That's not too good in bear country, though. Luckily, I've never tented in bear country. Well, not luckily. I'd like to go there sometime. Use collapsible kitchenware to save space always. I'll show you some of the collapsible kitchenware that I use, and I love it. Bring firewood or check local wood availability. Now, in Southern California, because we're worried so much about pests, make sure that you triple and quadruple check on that, because most campgrounds insist that you buy their wood at the campground. You could probably get away with a Duraflame log, though. Hard for critter to pest to be inside one of those. Always carry extra bungee cords and straps. That's for people that strap things to their car. I always carry extra line, which the AI did not mention. Use a portable stove for easy cooking. Yes, I use a portable stove. I love using a portable stove. Bring a rechargeable lantern for campsite lighting. Keep a spare key hidden outside of your car. Use a car organizer for easy access. That's a little weird, but I guess I can agree with that. Bring extra batteries for all devices, reliability. Pack lightweight, quick dry clothing for convenience. Store trash in sealed bags to avoid animals. Now, me, I go one step further. I think you should take your trash off your campsite and put it in a container, a trash container, as often as you can, at least once a day. Keep a shovel for digging and emergencies. That's not bad advice either. Now, as far as containerized food, I started my camping experience camping up in, first in Cooperstown, New York, around there. But real camping I did was canoe camping. And this is called a wanigan, which is a container that we use canoe camping. It's not too versatile for automotive use. However, this is just an example of containerized camping. And one of the ideas and how I got the idea of containerized camping. Here is a duffel bag that is tied off to another duffel bag. And then another picture of wanigans up in Canada from canoe camping. Now, if you want the real judge of a camper, always judge them by their knife. Now, you look at this knife and you think, ooh, real good camper. No, I would never take that camping. You want a real good camping knife? This is the camping knife used by the real good camper. Just a little Swiss Army knife that fits under the multi-tool thing, because all Swiss Army knives have tools, lots of them. There's a couple of them. And this one might actually be, I can't tell. Now I can. This is not my first Swiss Army knife. This is a camper Swiss Army knife, which has a nice little saw on it. Nice thing to have. And that is part of tools for camping. Now, in shopping for containers, one thing that you want to do is you want to get, actually more is better than not enough. And I fell into that this year because I had some old containers. Well, unfortunately, the old containers didn't nest with the new container. So I ended up having to get more containers, which basically is a big pain in the neck. Now, don't fall into this trap. Now, this is what I used to use for my kitchen, and it's a great box. It's just a little bit overpriced because it's a Husky. and it worked really well. However, it doesn't stack well with a lot of other boxes, and the size inside wasn't very efficient for camping. It was for some things, but for most things, no. I've come up with some other ways. Now, another container that I found out I can't use anymore is this one. You would think, whoa, this looks just like all my other ones, except the problem is they don't make this container anymore. And it's longer than my 7-gallon containers. I think this is an 8-gallon. They don't even make this anymore. And it was a great container. And I think it's the Home Depot brand, HDX. They have since replaced that with my current container that I use. I'm just pulling the lid off because we're going to open this up. Now, the cool thing about this one is this is off of the top of a 7-gallon container, but they use the same top and the same design for both the 7 and the 9-gallon containers, which I think is the next step up, if I remember correctly. Dirt cheap. That red box that I showed you, that was $25. These are like $7 or $8, a lot less, in the same size. I was hoping that I'd be able to get a different color one so that I could have my kitchen and my cleaning and all the other stuff. This one is off my kitchen gear because I just happened to look at it before coming over here. But I have 3 small boxes, 1 main box, which is for my tent, but we'll go over the kitchen one first. Here's all my kitchen stuff. I'll pull out some of the main stuff. Stove. Here's one stove. And this is a pop-up stove that you can use for grilling. Specifically, I use this with briquettes, and it worked very well. I cooked 2 steaks when I was out camping in the desert recently. Just pull it open like that. Grill comes down, and I get things stuck in here. Doing things on camera are a little bit different than doing them when nobody's watching. All right, here's charcoal grate. This comes underneath. This is your ash catcher. Say that 10 times real fast. So it goes in there like that, and then the grill goes on top. Now we're all ready to cook. Put that one back. There's another thing that I found with camp wear and things that you use camping. If you're going to use it at home, rather than cannibalizing off your camp gear, I suggest probably be better if you went and just got a second one. We're going to pack this up and put it back in so that I have it next time I go camping. Having things tightly fit is a good thing also with camping, so that they're not rubbing up against each other. Not so much that they're going to break each other, it's just that they'll drive you crazy in the car while they're rattling the whole way to your campground. Little silicone mitts help. Little fork for cooking over the fire. Always got to have coffee filters. extra clips, windscreen if needed. Now this is one of the creme de la cremes to have. And this is my coffee drip filter. This is the exact same design almost as the Hario. Pops up just like that. It's made out of silicone. Even has little quick instructions on how to use it. Now, just like I was telling you, if you have something that's in your camp gear bag and you want to use it for home use, get another one. And put this one back. Now, next one I'm going to reveal is my stove. Now, I have tried just about every stove known to man. I've gone with wood. I've gone with white gas. I've gone with alcohol burners. I've done twig stoves. I've done propane stoves. My favorite one uses these little inexpensive butane containers. Now, if it says Coleman on it, it's not inexpensive. If you go to Smart and Final or a restaurant supply store, you'll find that you can buy the same canisters with the same good stuff in them. And the reason why they're so cheap is you can't refill them. They're made with a cheaper, a thriftier material than the ones that you get for camping that are also butane. And here's the stove that I use. I'd light it off, but the last time I did this on camera, it almost cinched my hair off. So I'm not going to do that on camera. I can do it if I'm filming outside and it's easy, but this stove, and it really proved itself. I was just out camping recently. I call it a tulip stove for lack of other name for it, but this has a built-in windscreen which adjusts to the size of your pot. I love this stove. Now, I'll show you how to put the canister on. It's just really easy. Just line it up, hook this lip under the bottom part, and then you match the notch up with the notch right here. And you just go 1, and it's on. To get it off, you do the same thing in reverse. Line up the notch on the bottom before you pull it off. It just makes it a lot easier. That's what I was working on. This stove also has a piezo chip in there. So if you, I'm not sure if this will show up at the very bottom here. No, right, not bottom, here. I can't even see it on the camera. So, oh, there it is, right there. Okay. Now let's see if we see the spark at all. Yep, you can see the spark just barely. Don't have to bring matches with you, although it's a good idea just in case, because no guarantee the piezo will work forever. These are little legs that flip out. You can just flip them out. Now it looks like a space shuttle. And for a lunar landing, this is one of the best stoves I've ever owned. I don't know why I don't have 2 of them, just in case this one ever breaks. But I do have another stove in my box of goodies for the kitchen, that camp kitchen, that is, not kitchen. Always good to take your stove out and practice with it. Here is my backup stove. This one does not have a piezo to it. Just has a little fuel for turning it on and off. Now it fits to a normal camp bottle, and hopefully I have inside of here, because if I don't, I will look foolish. Won't be the first time, nor will it be the last. Putting that back together. It's kind of, in anybody who's been camping, it's usually a good Tetris player, because when you're putting things together and apart and all that, a bowl to eat out of, an expedition grate to cook off of if you're going to go for wood or regular fire. I made out of the top of a kitty litter container so that I have a little dustpan. Cutting board. Hot gloves. Oh, here it is. Got to have your camp mug. This is another one that is, here's the real steel camp mug. They're both the same exact size. Real steel, $25, made in China. Ozark Trails, I think it's $15, made in China. Real steel is a little bit heavier gauge. This is an adapter for those bottles that I showed you. Breaking everything today. This is the little adapter thing that holds onto the bottle. You screw this on. You can use this as either an extender, which would just extend the distance between your stove and your bottle, which is good to have. Or you can screw this in with this little nut here, and then have the bottle to the stove that I showed you before. Put it all back. Other stuff I have in here is a collapsible cup. Holds 1 cup of water. Real fun. This is part of the Tetris thing that I was telling you about. Now let's get the top back on and pray that it goes all the way in. This is one of your most, you have this box, which is your kitchen tools. And I'm not going to, these are sporks. Then I have another windscreen. Marshmallow fork. Another cutting board. And I know you're thinking, well, geez, what are you going to use for a pot? Here's a mess kit, which I'm not going to open up because that would take me 20 minutes in itself, because there's like 3 cooking cans and 2 lids, another cup in there, some additional. This can be used by itself because I have, in an emergency, I could just grab this and go, because it also has about a day and a half supply that, you know, if you use it carefully, of like soups and coffee and stuff like that. All right, back to back to packing. This is always the fun part. Remembering how you had everything in there. It never goes back in as easy as it came out. but that's good enough for government work. And if anybody has a question, just leave it in comments down below. Craziness that I have about doing things in the wild. You come up with ideas of ways to do things differently when you're out camping. And, you know, the thing you do is you experiment and try them out. All right. We have it almost done. There. That looks good enough. The tent will be a little bit different. This is the only box that I haven't been able to reduce in size because of my tent. My tent is this big. I find that I fit well in a 4-man tent, so that's what I use. This is a Coleman Diamond Peak 4-man tent. I just had it out in Agua Caliente for 5 nights, and it performed excellent. Hot desert sun, no problem. I put this blanket on the bottom. It's a Pendleton blanket from Costco. Camp chair. This is, I didn't use this, but it's always in there. This is my winter weight bag. I use the bag that's in my car all the time, and I have since purchased a summer weight bag. Now this right here is another ground cloth for the tent. This is the ground cloth that I did use. Emergency stuff. Emergency bottle. Glass bottle. Mask, just in case people are coughing and hacking all over the place. Air mattress. This is Big Agnes air mattress by Core. And that's enough out of that box. There's another pad in there that's actually a foam pad that I use also. Oh, that's what I'm missing right here. I was wondering why that was all going back in so easily, because I hadn't put the tent in yet. One thing that I also am going to put in here, which I didn't have in before, is my hiking pole. Hopefully it'll fit. Yes, it will. If you can scale down, always scale down. I used to carry 2 poles. I met a lady that needed a pole, and I heard from an experienced hiker that you really only need 1 pole for hiking. So that's what I use, is 1 pole. Why do you need it? Some for stability and some for protection. I mean, you can also, you know, if something comes up, say a mountain lion or something, this is better than nothing. These are hiking poles that I don't use. I have 2 of them. I purchased these a while back. They're a lot more compact. You could probably keep a set in your car if you wanted, if you camped and did a lot of hiking all the time. I usually don't use poles, but that's that. For $1, I got this. There's just a little Chinese lantern that you put outside your house for Halloween. Worked pretty nice outside my tent. The only problem is we were having 30, 40 mile an hour winds, so this thing kept getting blown away. This is what the list was talking about, collapsible containers. This is my wash tub that I use for washing dishes and anything else that needs washing. This one's a little bit heavier, so I'm thinking that it's probably my minimum of, and it isn't. I'm thinking wrong. This is not food. The extra tent stakes, camp sandals, an axe. This axe I got from, wow, my name function is Harbor Freight Tools. And the sheath I purchased off of Amazon just recently cost me about the same price as the axe did. Axe was about $8 and the sheath was about $8. So for $16, I have a nice camp axe. What do I use camp axe for mostly? Just pounding down steaks. More clips. You can never have too many clips camping. This is a little, it's an air blower that you can use for just fanning your fire, keep you from getting all really tired. And where's my little handle for that thing so I can show you? Has a little nozzle so that you keep it away from the, and then a little plastic handle. So you probably should have heard some wind on the speaker, I mean, microphone. Like I said, I always like bringing extra line. This is twine, actually, this contractor's cord. You can get a whole big spool of this, and it's more than enough to get you through just about any tight spot as far as tying things off. High visibility, which is nice. These are multi-tools, I think 3 of them actually, if I remember correctly, or maybe just 2. No, 3. One Stanley. Barry. One has scissors, and the other one had, I think this one's the one with the scissors. Yep, scissors, which is always nice to have. And no, I don't bring that Swiss Army knife camping because I do have scissors right here. And then this one has pliers in it. Oleum. You can get most of this stuff off of Amazon. The orange container, you notice I use bright containers. That is so I don't lose things as easily. It's very easy, especially in a tent. If you're, not that this stuff goes in my tent, but in the dark or in a tent, things that are bright are easier to find. You never have too many ground cloths. The reason being is these also make good shade tarps. There's another container, more line, a mat to put, a rollable mat that I put out in front of my tent. It's red, so it must be important. Let's see what's in here. Oh, yes, it is. Red for fire. It's got my leather gloves and some fire starters in there. And some fire starter here. So we'll put that in the red bag. So next time that I go, it'll be in the right place. This is the little guard that comes with the axe from Harbor Freight. I would not recommend depending on one of these little things to stay in place for very long. Very happy with the sheath that I got. If anybody's got any questions, make sure to leave them down below and I will answer them all. Extra shampoo and can be used for shampoo or washing your dishes. Of course, you need to clean, so I have stuff for cleaning. And then some real paracord. That's this box. This one has room for extra stuff too. So always nice not to overpack. So that's two of the small, one of the large. We have one left to go. And it shouldn't take too long. And then I'll show you some other things, some more camping secrets about what to bring camping. Here's my cooler. I just have a small cooler because I'm usually camping by myself. A lot of times I don't even need the cooler because I don't really need cold drinks. Last box is at least 5 days worth of supplies for eating. Coffee, cereal, 5 days worth of cereal, salt and pepper, dirty rice, all sorts of things you can. And then here's a lot of food that you can eat just straight out of the bag. You can get this stuff over at Dollar Tree for $1.25. Here's where my bag for cereal. And a little bit of spaghetti sauce if you want spaghetti. I used to have, oh yeah, I still do. If the weather's too bad for making coffee, got some yerba mate, which is energy drink. I got 3 of those. And that is food. Can't forget food for camping. Always good to have a camera that you know. And what I have found is, thank you, Marcus Pix, for this recommendation. He said, well, if you're out in the desert and you have a camera and you're shooting for any length of time, use a camcorder, not a camera. The reason being, these are designed to go and go and go. Now, the thing I like about this is I can open it up. It turns right on, and I have the cap on, so you can't really see what's going on there. And not only will it take videos, but if I push this little spot that you can't really see the little camera on, but this little thing right here takes a picture every time I touch it. So I just took 3 pictures. I think you probably heard the little beep. Green for on for that. And then now it's taking a video of the excitement of my room. little camcorder. I like this one. I like Canon Vixia. My nephew was the one who turned me on to Canon Vixias a long time ago. I said, hey, Dan, what is the best video camera that you know of? And he goes, Canon Vixia, Uncle Bill. And so that's what I got eventually. I didn't buy it quite then. Another, and this is actually one that I should have covered one of your first things to look at when you're planning a camping trip is, what is your schedule? So this is my schedule. And so I know whether I have time open for camping. Let's check for the month of July. Looks pretty wide open. So I guess I can go camping in July if it's not too hot. Now, I'm glad you all stuck around here because I'm going to share one little secret that is like brand new. This is a new device that just recently hit the streets. And I'll even put the link to this thing in the chat because you might want to go get one. Let me call it up first. And what it is it's an addition to your camp chair, and this will fit on just about any camp chair. And my review got accepted too. Here, all right. We're putting the link into the chat. There it is. Oh, I guess it went in twice for some reason. This is a portable folding camp chair ottoman for outdoor recliner, lazy retractable footrest, leg rest, camping moon chair kit. It'll work with any chair, really, for hiking, fishing, picnic camping. I bought this one instead of this one. For some reason, I didn't like the gray as much as I like the black. Now I'll show it to you. Here it is. It's very light, probably about 1.5 pounds. And comes just a little extension thing here. Here's where the legs pop in. Here's where the seat pops in. In my opinion, they could have gone with little steeper angle instead of the 90-degree, although the 90-degree was probably easier to do with this plastic fitting here. Now, putting this on is not very difficult either. A big thing that you want to do with putting it on is with this little lip here, make sure to get the nylon cuff into the pole before even trying, because that's the hardest part, is getting the lip over the pole. First one is super easy. The second one is a little bit more difficult. So this is the second time that I put this together ever. And we're just pull it over. You see how I get it right under there? I'll do it again. You just get this part and then make sure it's over the corner of the tube. And then it's in. And this is it. And then this, you loosen up this thumbnail right here. With this thing, and then just clamp her down when you want it on there. Personally, I don't really think this much is needed, but this is not too bad. Watch out for this, because this is just 2 parts on this that are going to want to break on you. Well, a couple actually. Legs. Don't want to put any real weight up here other than your legs. In other words, watch out when somebody comes to talk to you that they don't sit on this, because they sit on this, goodbye. And with this part here, I know that it looks like you should put it up here. Actually, no matter what your chair is, use it down here where my finger is, because the more you put a tubing into here all the way to the top, the more likely you are to break this plastic someday. Nice thing about it is it stretches quite a bit. I had no problem actually almost lying down in my chair with this thing, and it was really nice. So that's my one chair, is the portable folding ottoman. Like I said, get yourself a spare of whatever you think that you might be using at home of your camp gear, so you aren't going into your camp gear. This is another stove, exactly like the one that I showed you earlier. I got this one off of Amazon recently for under $20 before taxes. Same exact design. I'll put that one into the chat as well. There it is. Let's see, what is it price? It's still on sale for $18.99. Not bad. And there's the stove. $18.99. Yay! Might as well go full Monty on this. Although I don't know if that's the right word. This is a summer weight bag from Nature Hike. I bought the down version, which is around $100. You can also get a cotton version of this, which is around $25. Me, I prefer down just because what if it gets really, really cold? Down is what you need when it's really cold. You can always unzip this. You can't always change the filling in the middle of the night. This is the bag to be using if you're doing summer camping or out in the desert like I was. I didn't have this when I bought this right after desert camping. This will probably get added into my kit for summer use. Let's look that one up too, because like I said, I just recently bought it, so I'll share exactly what it costs today. Now, the truth be told about this bag, you notice how it says 800 fill? The one that's under $100 is not 800 fill. This is the one that's 800 fill right over here, $150. I didn't really care about the extra temperature that you gain. All right, let's see. What's the difference? Well, actually, they're rated for the same temperature. But with an 800 fill, that's going to give you more heating capacity per pound of fill. This 1.26 pounds is not actually a true indicator of how much fill there is. It's slightly under 3/4 of a pound that they put in of fill. Now, this is the one I bought right there. I did not like the cinch design up here at the very top, because where they anchor that, which is right over here, where up near the Velcro up there, and they also anchor it over here at the bottom corner. Now, the way that they anchor it is with two small threads. A lot of times one. My first bag that I got was not anchored on one of the strings, so I returned it right away. I was wondering why they had an elastic cord and not just a solid cord. And that was my answer, is the fact that they're using such a weak attachment point that I, for one, don't plan to use the cinch strap to cinch up the bag. And that's that. Let's see if we can find the Nature Hike Ultralight for cotton, so I can show you that one too. For the budget camper. All right. Here we are. Here's the one that I purchased, although they're saying that it's $109 now. Although there's a $20 coupon. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I used the coupon. Now they also have these are cotton fill right here. This one and this one. I think one is cotton and one is synthetic, but same type of make. Yeah, cotton. Breathable cotton. And I have a few more secrets to let you know before you go, because I've done a lot of desert camping and off the grid even, because when I was at Agua Caliente, that was off the grid. So what you want to do is you want to bring with you a couple of solar chargers. This is the one I used for charging up my phone. Even though I couldn't use my phone, I wanted my phone to stay charged. This is a 40-watt charger that you can get just about anywhere. Now for my CPAP machine, because yes, when you're out camping, if you're a CPAP user, you're going to need charging. Now this isn't a CPAP charger. This is a smaller charger that I started off. This started me into solar charging. Goal 0. Now the granddaddy of them all and the most expensive solar charger that I have, this is a 50-watt charger, and it's designed for a 24-volt battery because that is what is used on my CPAP machine. This is the Medstrom charger. Do not get anything other than the Medstrom charger. This is the charger to get for charging CPAP batteries made by Medstrom. A good toilet kit and a good journal book. Journal book is good to bring so that you can take camp notes. Your pen and paper is probably one of the most valuable things to have out camping. They don't go bad. Make sure to bring all of your medicine. This is for my levothyroxine. And also a good toilet kit so that you can handle all your toiletries. I put an electric shaver and electric toothbrush in this, and I'm good for a week. Camping's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. These kind of knives, leave them at home. Don't laugh at the other campers that have them. Don't laugh at the guy who's trying to hack onto a piece of wood with one of these things. These are more for show, less for go. Yes, you could kill somebody. I mean, you could kill a fish with one of these, but I would not recommend bringing it camping. One, you're probably more likely to hurt yourself than you are anything else in the woods with it. And they're not very useful. This little Swiss Army knife, this is a perfect starter knife for anybody that's thinking about getting the perfect camp knife. And here's the reason why. And I don't drink anymore, but it comes with a perfect can opener, not can opener, wine bottle opener. It has a flip topper and a wire stripper and a screwdriver all in one. You get a splinter, it's got tweezers. You're hanging out with me and you're eating a lot of turkey and other stuff and popcorn and everything else out by the fire, and you get something in your teeth. Here's a nice little plastic toothpick. And by the way, you can get both replacements for the tweezers and the toothpicks for when you lose yours, because I have lost them on occasions. You want to open up a can? Here's a can opener. That'll go right along the can. Plus, it has a small standard screwdriver, which can also be used in a Phillips head. If you have something that needs to be sewed, here is an awl. That's what that little hole's for, actually. You poke it all the way through, you put your thread through, then you pull it back, then you pull your thread, and then you can actually make stitching with one of these. Now you know what that hole is for. One of the many reasons. I'm sure somebody will tell me something else that you can use that hole for. But you can use it for stitching, a stitching awl. We got two blades that I can show you. One small, one big. Small one for whittling, big one for cutting open that fish that you just caught. Aren't you getting hungry just thinking about it? And I think there's scissors on there here somewhere. Maybe not on this one. Got that. You know what? This is one of the ones without the scissors. I want my scissors. All the more reason why I don't bring this one camping. Although I can't remember the last time I used a pair of scissors out camping. Mostly a knife, an axe, pliers, use those a lot, and line. Always bring extra line for yourself while you're camping, because if you forget to bring some line, it's just, you can always have too much of something, but you can never, it's better like food. When I do food and I'm bringing my food camping, first off, like I said, I have at least 5 days camp food already in that box. But I'll probably bring a couple of other things, like some fresh fruits, some fresh carrots. Carrots are one of the best vegetables to bring camping. And why are they so good? Because carrots, even unrefrigerated, are going to stay okay to eat for a long period of time. Whereas, like, say, a melon, you can't be guaranteed that thing's going to stay, or bananas. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have any questions whatsoever about camping, canoe camping, regular camping, desert camping, first, one of the best resources is the internet. It didn't used to be, but there's a lot of stuff, and the AIs are getting better. I wasn't kidding. That list really surprised me. Also, if you do streaming on YouTube, Streamlabs is a great platform. That's what I use, and it gets me around very well. I'm looking around to see if I have anything more that is kind of interesting to share. Oh, there we go. We're going to have a 1-minute outro just for fun. Well, that almost worked. I can't think of anything else. Camping is a lot of fun. Get out there. Make sure to wear a lot of sunscreen. Bring insect repellent. Good clothes are a good thing to bring. Something that's sturdy, and broad brimmed hat so that you don't get skin cancer, and spare glasses if you wear glasses. Things that just spare of everything that you need. You can't bring spare kids because the kids that you have, those are non-replaceable. And I love you all. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Bye-bye.